Coding challenges where logic meets victory by .NET Updates Srinivas Madeti. Welcome to Coding Challenges. Get ready to sharpen your logic, crack tricky problems, and boost your coding confidence. Every session, we will tackle challenges step by step, explore different approaches, learn how to think like a code developer. So, what you can expect from these videos? The complexity of challenges will be increased gradually throughout the series. Multiple approaches solving a single problem, along with their pros and cons, will be discussed in detail. Performance and memory considerations will be highlighted wherever applicable, and step-by-step explanation in detail explanation will be there for each concept, each approach. Practical and real-world examples. Every session will be followed by a code execution. A practical solution will be written and executed, and all the examples we are taking will be used in real world, like in the real jobs and also your real-time projects. So, what was the last session on coding challenges? The third video was explaining about two-pointer approach or swap characters. We, in detail, we explained about swapping characters approach and a very good comparison between the for loop and swap characters approach. So in that discussion, I highlighted important things like when you are choosing your code, what are the things to consider? And also I demonstrated the more usage of effective usage of lucid charts while communicating with the teams. What we're going to see. So in this approach, this video, we are going to see the priority queue. Again, disclaimer, the priority queue usage in resolving the reversal of string is not my favorite approach, but still I want to show this is one way of can resolve the reversal of the string. The important thing in this video, we are going to see priority queue and features of the priority queue. And this priority queue may be effective like when we are resolving more complex coding challenges. So just um, sit tight and enjoy the priority queue. Okay, in this approach, we are going to see the priority queue and how this is, how the priority queue is more appropriate than the queue. So this is the pictorial diagram, like what will happen when you are using the queue and when you are using the priority queue. So if the input string is A, B, C, D, E, and you are initializing the queue with this string, so the first element, we all know the queue will work first in, first out. So when you are initializing the queue with the string, the first characters it goes inside will be A, the second character it will be B, and C, D, E. And also when you are dequeuing, the first character will come out will be A, B, C, D, E. So if I use queue to reversal of a string, this approach is not going to work. Let's see in the code, then we will understand more about queue. Let's add a new method to implement the queue approach. Public void string use string string So I'm going to declare a queue here where to to of star, and I'm going to store input string. So then I'll create string builder parcel of a builder while q dot count greater than 0, we are going to append q dot dequeue. So this always at the end right line thing. Let's see the output, and then we will discuss more what is happening. Yeah. So the reversal of ABC is CBA. The reversal of .NET is .NET. Yeah, that. Oh, sorry. I did not add. It's still calling the swap characters. That's why you're seeing a wrong output. Come here, change. I'm wondering how come enqueues. Run the code and see the output. Definitely, it will. It's not going to reverse the characters. The reverse of ABC is ABC. Reverse of .NET is .NET. Reverse of Back to the Future. Reverse is Back to the Future. Which is wrong. So what is happening here? I initialized a queue with a input string, and this is what it's going to happen. So when you initialize queue with A, B, C, D, E, it's going to take the first character and put it in the front. So the queue work first in, first out. So the A is the person who came the queue first, and it's going to out first. So I am dequeuing. So this dequeue will remove the A first and remove A first and put it like this, then B, then C, then D, then E. So what it's going to do, it's going to give the output same as A, B, C, D, E. So this approach is not going to work here. Since the queue approach is not working as it is, I like to introduce some more code so that I can make the queue work. So here the problem is the way we are storing the characters. If I store E first and A like this, and if I change the order, the way I store the characters, then first it's going to enqueue, dequeue the E, and last it's going to dequeue A, and I'll get my desired output E, D, C, E, A. So that means I have to change the logic, the way I'm storing the characters here. So I'll, instead of initializing the queue with the string, I'll initialize it with the length. So then I will assign a for loop. This for loop, it loop through from the end of the string. Length is 1 to I is greater than 0, I is greater than -1, because I have to iterate until the first character, and I minus minus. So for queue, there is a method called enqueue. So now I think my code will work. So what I'm trying to do, I'm initializing the queue with the length. Then I'm enqueuing in order, in my desired order, such a way that the last character will go first, first character will go last. And when I dequeue, I'll get the reversal of the string. Let's run this code and check it out whether we are getting our desired or not. Yes, the reversal of ABC is CBA.NET and Back to the Future. But instead of going to the queue, I would like to go with the priority queue, which is more efficient with a lot of advanced options and features. So let's go through like what is the difference between queue and priority queue. Before going into the details, these are the key differences between the queue and priority queue. So retrieval order in queue, it's always first in, first out. So that's why we reversed it while storing, get the desired output. In priority queue, you store the uh, characters in any manner, but the retrieval will be based on the priority. So when you are assigning the characters, you have to assign the priority also. The highest priority will come out first. For data structures, typically the queue is a circular array or a linked list, but this is implemented by using a minimal heap, which is more efficient and effective. And element requirement, in queue, you store only the elements, but here, in addition to the elements, will store its priority also. The use case, it's like when you are doing some IO buffer and breadth first searches, this queue is more efficient. And if you are doing some CPU based and some graph algorithms and some kind of emergency has things, then go for priority queue. So like the behavioral with equal items, so process in the order of the arrival, there is no question. But here the order of processing is not guaranteed, maybe varied based on the implementation. If you have same priority for multiple um, characters, what will happen? It's not the scope of this video, but these are some concerns of the priority queue. So let's see how it stores. So here, when you are storing the characters A, B, C, D, E, so I'm going to store A, B, C, D, E. A will be put into first, B, C, D, E. But along with the characters, I'm also defining the priority. So for E, I gave the higher priority. For D, I gave second higher priority. For C, the next higher priority. For B, again the next. And for A, the least priority. So when you are dequeuing, the priority queue dequeue will not consider the order of the elements inserted. It will look for the priority and it will remove the item first. So when it remove E, first it will remove item E, and then when you are dequeuing, it will remove 3, then D, then it will remove C with priority Q, then it will B and A. So let's write the code and see. So I'll add a new method and name it as public void. Okay. Then I will declare a priority queue instead of queue where equal to new priority queue. So when you are defining the priority queue, you have to give uh, two variables, like the type of the queue and also its priority. So the first is the type of the elements you are storing, and the second is its priority. Then I'm going to write a for loop I equal to I less than put string dot length minus 1 length I plus plus. So I'm going to insert the same order as the characters. A will go first, B will second. So here priority queue dot enqueue. This method, it's going to take two arguments. The first argument is put string of I, comma, but the priority I'll store it in a reverse way. So input string dot length dot minus 1 of minus I. So is going to store for A, the priority will be least. For E, the priority will be highest. So I'm going to create a new string builder, and now while priority queue dot count greater than 0, going to reversal of the string dot append priority queue dot dequeue. So, and finally, I'm going to display this. Let's run the code and see. For that, I have to change. Let's run the code. See, the code is running and it's working. ABC CBA .NET Back to the Future. Let's debug the code and see how um, the priority queue store. We are going in a debugging mode. We'll understand. The priority queue is initiated. So then think through what is the input string? It's ABC. So uh, I'm iterating from the beginning of the string, which is A, but while storing, the length will be 3 minus 1, 2 minus 0. So it's C, priority queue started A, but the, the priority is 2. Again, the priority second item priority B1, the third item 0, C0. So here the highest priority is 0, the least priority is 2. So it's my bad. Here the highest priority means with least number. I confused. So that's why I want to get. So even though I know the concept, sometimes it's easily get confused. So yeah, the highest priority will have the lesser value. So for ABC, if you see the queue, C has a higher priority with the least value 0. B has higher priority with um, second least number. A has least priority with higher number. So it's a ranking. So the person who got rank 1 will have higher priority. The same here. And when you are dequeuing, so first it's going to dequeue the item with higher priority. So let's see which item get. So the higher priority item is C with least number 0. It dequeued C first, then B. Finally, it dequeue A. And you will see the output, which is your desired output. So we are done with our first coding challenge, which is reversal of the string. And we gone through different approaches, like by using the default or built-in functions, and then we loop by using a for loop, and then by using a two pointer approach or swapping character approach, and at the end we have gone through the queue and priority queue. So in these, which is your like favorite or which is your preferable solution? For me, the swapping characters feel more efficient, realistic for this particular problem. But the perfect solution will be based on different parameters, like the way the behavior of your application, the amount of data you're processing. But if you are aware of various approaches, you can do the comparison, especially in your interview. When you are writing one approach, you can bring all other approaches and you can explain them like verbally, or you can explain them on the board so that the interviewer will question that, okay, so this guy know more approaches, and he, based on the requirement, he can select the best approach. So thank you for watching first problem in the coding challenges. So these are the approaches I come across till now. If I find any further approaches for solving the reversal of the string, again I'll make the video, I'll publish. So in my next videos, I'm going to take another problems, maybe um, matching brackets. That is also one of the frequently asked question in the interview. So please, through the videos, try the samples, share your feedback, and let me know how can I improve my videos, and also suggest the topics to learn. I will take that priority and I'll implement. And yeah, thank you, and sit tight and watch for the next videos. You're going to see more videos. Happy coding. Bye.